welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 13. Today is day number 26, and our sketch was created by Ms. Ty. I love this sketch, and when I first looked at it, all I could see was Coco Vanilla Studios. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it was this stripe. Anyway, that is not the collection or company I pulled from. I pulled from my print shop collection, and really should just title this video Tara Digs Into Another Hoarded Collection, because seriously, y'all, I've been hoarding this collection. I mean, I have used some of it. Here's some fussy cut bits and some ephemera bits that I've opened and put in these little Allie Edwards Story Kit envelopes. But I have quite a bit of it left to play with. I've actually even used up a lot of this one sticker sheet. I was kind of surprised, but I have two. And have this beautiful sketch. So I'm going to talk about photos. I pulled these photos from my prepped June 2016 album. I've talked about how I prep my albums in the past, and what I do is I take a month's worth of photos and I print them based on layouts, and I will tuck the printed photos into the page protector where the finished layout will eventually go. So when I pull from an album such as this one, I will put a post-it note in it, tell me which photos go there so I don't lose that, especially in a month where I have what looks like a stack a mile high of completed layouts that I will need to put away at the end of the month. So that helps me know where things go. So these photos came from those infamous groove books that I keep talking about. And I actually have the digital photos on my computer of these. So I reprinted them. And as you can see, the color is so much better when I printed them. I printed a third photo, and that's the one I'm going to be using for this page. I'm going to be using these two and this one. This is just an extra photo that I printed so that I would not waste paper. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and get started. I will be right back. All right, right off the top, I'm going to go ahead and scuff up the edges of my photos, and I'm going to mat them on those 6x8 floral print that you see right underneath my hands. And I chose that color because I like it. I don't know, I just chose it because I wanted to bring in as much color as I could with this pattern paper. And I decided not to use the paper that has the circles, the colorful circles on it. After all, I ended up setting it back aside and not using it at all. I had thought I would, didn't, so I put it back in my folder that keeps these collections organized. And so I took the other sheet of paper, the one that had the stripes and the dots on it, and I'm using those for the layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all of the photos onto the pattern paper, and then I will scuff up the edges of the pattern paper mat as well. So I cut away from all of the distressing because I didn't figure you needed to watch me distress the photo mats. You already saw me distress the photos. I don't think you need to see me distress the photo mats as well. So one of the things about this collection that I noticed when I opened up that paper pad for the very first time, the paper pad is not 12 by 12. It is more like 11 7/8 by 12 or something like that. It's like 1/8 of an inch too short. So what I have done at the top, you see that I have adhered it down with washi tape, and I've made sure that it is even on my glass mat. And I'm going to take that very bottom striped paper and I'm going to pull it down past the edge of this pattern paper to make my layout a full 12 by 12. That drives me crazy that they take off 1/8 of an inch in a paper pad. I absolutely do not like that. And if they do that, I really wish they would advertise it, because now I am reluctant to buy the paper pads, even though they're cheaper. So back to what I'm doing. So as you saw, I am scuffing up all of the layers of pattern paper on here, just the top and the bottom and not the edges, because the edges, of course, are going to, go along the edge of the layout, and I don't need to do that. So the larger striped pattern paper also came from a paper pad, which means it's also not 12 inches wide. And so you're going to see here in a minute how I fix that. But first I want to get all of these other layers on here and get them adhered down. I had intended to use the black and white polka dot paper from this one that I'm gluing down, and I didn't, because when I flipped over the stripes, I was like, oh, that might look really, really good instead of the polka dot. So here is where I'm gluing down the large stripe that I've already distressed, and you're going to see it does not reach the edge. That's annoying to me. So again, I'm going to fix that. I have a piece of that pattern paper left, and I'm just going to cut off one section of it, and I'm going to just use it to lengthen that strip of paper. And so I take this, and it's very it's hand done, so it's not perfectly straight. I did not pull out my trimmer to do this. I just did that, and I'm going to go ahead and scuff the top of this piece, and I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to take the other side, because it's not as wide as my original pieces, and so I'm going to have to layer things up to make this work. So next, I'm going to go ahead and scuff the bottom of that piece and put some ATG adhesive on it, and then I'm going to just start kind of trying to make it match up, and it works out really well. Once it's done, I feel like you really can't tell, unless you're really looking for it, that I've added another stripe there. And so that is how I fixed not having a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Again, I really wish companies would advertise that. I think that they would find out that more people wouldn't buy their paper pads, though, because I know I'm not the only one that this bugs. So at the top, I had that washi tape, and much to my annoyance, it tore this piece of paper a little bit, but never fear. I was already intending on putting a little bit at the top, and so I did. And now I'm going to cut off a little bit of the edges because it was too long on one side. And I fixed that, and I'm going to glue down the rest of that top strip. Now, of course, the original sketch has only 2 photos. I believe her photos were bigger than 3x4. They most certainly looked bigger than 3x4. I was guessing 3.5x5 or 4x6. And that's fine. I want 3 photos to tell the story of this layout, or on this layout. And about these photos a little bit, I was dabbling in learning how to garden, and I planted my first tomatoes successfully when we lived in Virginia. When we moved, or PCS'd as it is known in the military, to Tennessee, I tried it again the following summer and was just as successful. So these are tomatoes and lettuce from my little container garden that I had put in our backyard. So photos are matted. They're about where they're going to be. They're not going to end up they're going to be a little bit more wonky than this. I think I end up with the middle one either farther up on the page or farther down. But I just kind of laid things down as I'm placing things around. And so what I'm trying to do is, she had some embellishment clusters, and mine are going to be a little bit different because I have 3 photos. And I also want to include journaling on my page, and my title has a subtitle. It's a large title, and then there's a subtitle as well that I will come in later and put on there. So I want to include the butterflies, but I also wanted to include these cute little snails because, you know, gardening snails, it kind of goes together, and I actually think I found a snail in my little container garden at one time. So I also wanted to use those numbered tabs at the top of my photos. I don't always find a place for numbered things on my layouts, and this time it seemed beneficial to go ahead and use them at the top. All right, I got this layout completely finished. I am quite pleased with how it looks. I, of course, did 3 photos instead of 2. Her photos, I believe, are probably 3.5 by 5 or 4 by 6. I used 3 by 4 photos. And in fact, this one was a little bit shorter than 3 by 4. And I did a little bit different with my title and my clusters, but I got a cluster here, here, and basically here, and then I put that banner up at the top just because I thought it looked nice. So that is it. So I want to thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe to my videos. Make sure that you check out that description box below because there is a playlist for 30 days of sketches. You will be amazed at all of the beautiful layouts that you're going to see in these videos. So make sure you take some time, get yourself that cup of coffee or tea, and sit down, relax, and enjoy. They are amazing. You guys have a great day. Bye.